Howdy folks. Today I'm going to show you how to take apart and put back together in kind of maintenance an Avet. This is an Avet JX 4.6. I got it on eBay a few months ago and it came to me kind of feeling like shit, so I opened it up and did what I could with it. I think I replaced a bearing or two and put some fresh grease in there, but once I closed it up, it was pretty obvious that it needs some gears. So I ordered some gears direct from Avet. Only took me 2 months of pretty mediocre communication to get a hold of that, but we got them. So good luck if you're trying to get some gears from them. But once you're there, here's how you put them in. So we're going to pop the, well, first we undo the drag preset. There's a spring under there. Since I already greased all this shit a couple months ago, so everything should be pretty clean. If I remember, I'll try to mention to you where to grease things, where to grease what. So, simple machinery. Gotta love it. Yes, you don't. So, I don't really need to fuck around with all this bullshit. But, you know, it's there for you. Just remember to try to have a schematic out if you have no fucking clue what you're doing. I tend not to have a schematic because, I don't know, I'm insane. But as you can see, this is all pretty clean already. So, I did that. But, I can put a little extra on there. So, what I'm doing actually right now is I'm going to put some heavy grease around the clicker, or basically on the clicker assembly, so that that doesn't get too salty. I do use the clicker quite a bit. Yeah, if you're gonna tear this shit apart, just remember to take this off, take the main shaft off real carefully, and pay attention to the order of things, because with lever drag reels, that's really where you're gonna run into the most trouble, is forgetting what direction all these little washers go. So I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm not gonna get myself into trouble just to show you guys. Fuck that. But I think that's greased. Yeah, that's greased. So yeah. That feels okay. So anywho, the real reason, you know, that doesn't feel that bad. But it's fooling you, bro. You can't let it fool you. I wouldn't say this is the advised tool, but That's my reel, I don't give a shit. There's that on the back of that. It'll stick if you greased it. That's what I did, I think, I hope. And here's what makes an Avet special is this little anti-reverse mechanism right here. So when your lever drags generally use a silent dog system. Some of them use an anti-reverse clutch bearing, and both of those have a risk of failure. I suppose this also has a risk of failure if you really like gum this thing up, but basically what you're saying, so I'm reeling forward, and then as soon as you reel back, see how the dog gets pushed forward, or gets pulled forward by this little wire plate thing. So that's why I like these, because it'll never be a knuckle buster at that rate. So anywho, keep taking this thing off. Undo that plate. Get that fucker off. So there's the wire. The fucking dog who doesn't want to go. It's a stubborn dog. Dogs be like that sometimes. Fucker. Why is that stuck there? That's weird. Well, normally that will just fall out. Nope, just the pinion bearing. Pinion gear. Alright, fuck around. So here we have, and I already forgot. Okay. So we're going to replace these gears with some new gears. How's that? Yeah, sure. Okay. Alright, so that's the first step. This one a little bit. So you want heavy grease on things like gears, and you want light grease on like almost everything else. And by almost everything else, I mean like parts that move. Don't fucking put grease just like everywhere all willy-nilly. So, looks like there's some blue grease in there. Did I do that? I don't think I did that. Maybe I did. So, there's a little bit of rust on there. But, right at the base. But it'll be okay. I'm too lazy to like scratch that all off or whatever, but if I can, I'm getting some off. Okay. sits. And one of those. I don't have a schematic out right now. I think I'm okay. If I'm not, you'll know. So then you pop that back on there. So, the little trick of this little fucking wire fucker, you're gonna want, let's see if I can put my hands in a place where you can see it. Hands where you can see it. So you want, there's a side with like a hole in it. You put that on the wire, and then you like roll the gear backward, and then it gets under there. Now you're good on that. And then you want, this is where my dog wanting to sit, he's not gonna do me any favors. Let's see if I can pop it out. Why is it coming on so much? Well, there's the tall side of it right there, and so you're going to fit that under that. So typically just pop the dog right out. It'll normally fall out. I must have greased it underneath. There you go, little fucker. Okay, so then you just fit the dog over the top of that, and you want to do it on the right side. No, fuck. I did that wrong. Okay. Why is that? You're going to be here for all of this, folks. There we go. And you're also going to want to make sure that the dog is going in the right direction. Otherwise it'll just slip right over the top. So you want like the angle like that, I'm pretty sure. So that's good. Pop that shit back on there. This. Which side does that go? Let's find out. Pretty sure to put the pinion in. So I would, when I assemble things with an Avet, I think this is what I do. I leave this drag shield on the spool, and then put the short side of the pinion gear into there, and then run that into there. And it's all caught. It's good. I'm going to do things a little bit, things a little off rhythm here. Is this really? Yep. lining up that with that. So you kind of want to put it perpendicular to the angle of like the oversized gear shoulder on the side plate. See that? So you want it to go that way, like compared to this. You want it opposite angle, 90-degree angle. Let's see how that works. And I got the line hang out like a fucking doucher. This is why one might recommend taping down your line before you start. This shit's fucking stupid. There we go. Well folks, that wasn't the gears, so I guess we'll just go hunt around and find what the issue is. I notice that feels smooth. It makes a little noise if I press down, so there might not be the best pinion bearing, but I don't think that's it. Isolate would be this, if that's somehow rubbing up against the dog or anything like that. Doesn't seem to be the issue. These two bearings on the side of the spool on either side of the spring here feel pretty good, so I don't think it's them. There's washers on either side between the bearings and the spring. That feels alright. Could be a little better, but it's not that awful sound that I'm hearing. I think that bearing is our troublemaker. Do I have one? I doubt it. Fucking doubt it. So yeah, this bearing fucking sucks. Feels like shit. If only you could feel it, you would know. Do I have anything? This one sucks, but maybe it'll at least. Oh my god, these all suck. Okay. Good to know. No, that's not bad. Maybe a lot better. Yellow dude. Let's see. Yeah, fuck yeah. So just replace that one. I don't have this. But I'm just hoping that a different one will feel marginally better until I can get some more. A little bit awkward. Well, let's see. I guess you could do this. That'll be smoother. Why did that? What? Alright. Gear, washer, bearing, sleeve. Alright. Throw that in there. Doing this again. Put that. Put the hole under that. Let it roll under there. Have the dog already attached. Pop that in that bad boy. Let's go. Fuck you. What the fuck? Sit, boo boo. It helps to put some grease on the end of your screwdriver to put little screws on. I like to put the handle on first. It locks the drive gear in place so it just quits sliding around like a fucking piece of shit. Then you can lock the drag plate onto the bearing, so there won't be any weird spacing issues on that. Alright. Okay. So I've got actually a weird issue I've never felt before. What's going on? But it's quieter. So I was just having this weird thing where the anti-reverse is failing. Fancy that. I switched out the two handle bearings in here, and I switched out one shitty pinion bearing for another, and like every shitty pinion bearing's got its own like weird sound, so this one was just absolutely unbearable. Made me think the gears were bad. I removed it and put in another one that was just like, this one's got some really obviously rough spot, like particularly bad spots. This other one is just generally like not great, but doesn't have any like signature bad spots. So I can feel it a little bit, but it could be a little worse. And adjust your drag to where you want it. I kind of have a tendency to put strike, at least to start, up to like where I can barely reel it. That way, like when you go into full, you have like a lot more top end, and down here you have stuff to play with. And doesn't feel great, but it free spools. So it's how to get by, at least. And then you want to put that back on. Other than that, you know, buy fresh bearings or send it in for service. Sending it in for service for certain companies like Shimano, you get with Shimano you get like free gears and bearings, and like any other like cheap, less expensive parts you get as part of the flat fee service. With Avet, you have to pay for anything more than bearings or like washers, I guess. So I would have had to pay for gears, and I was certain it was the gears in this. And now I realize it probably wasn't, and I really just need the bearings. So I guess I'll just order some bearings from them. Or I might be able to find them online from someone else. That won't take 3 months to ship. Also, you hear this? That little clicking? So, I just found that this is that wire is undulating a little bit. Probably because this O-ring has been knocked off a little. There we go. That might actually be it. So this O-ring was pushed up. I just pushed it back down. That should keep it level. I think it was like, let's see. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. We got it. Also, just This is the kind of one that you can put in the spool and then put that on there, so that's locked into that bearing, and then pop that, and then just kind of move the spool around a little bit, and that's locked in. Alright, no more noises. A little more vibration than I'd like because of the, I'd say like the C minus pinion bearing in here, maybe C plus. I'll give it a C plus. This one was a D minus. I'll take a C plus right now. Maybe order some in the future. Feels good, doesn't make that noise that the anti-reverse wire was making, and it does have the fresh gears in it, but I'm starting to think that I don't need them. So these might be okay if I want to switch out a 6.0 for a 4.6, or if this does need gears in the future. But steel gears are generally okay for a really long time. So what's that about? Yeah, alright. What did we learn today, folks? We learned how to open this up. We learned about the anti-reverse wire, how to apply that. We learned that anti-reverse wire can make a funny buzzy noise if the gasket isn't properly seated. And I hope you learned maybe some other shit. You learned about yeah, alright, I'm done. Peace out.